What's good, everybody? Cozy Boy Don back again with another video, and the draft is less than 12 hours away from when I'm recording this. And the final video before the draft that I'm gonna put out is three of the guys that I think are really underrated that are gonna go either in the lottery or late in the first round of the draft. So everybody tune in, get some headphones, play it on the speakers, enjoy the beats in the background, and let's go get cozy and talk hoops. Let's go. Corey Kispert. Corey is a 6'7" forward that played 4 years with the Gonzaga Bulldogs. In this past season, he averaged 18.5 points on 52% shoot from the field and 44% from three. When Corey is picked, the analysts are going to point out his shooting ability, which is evident and best in the class. He shot 44% on almost 7 threes a game, and that's really great. And when he catches the ball, he's locked and loaded and ready to shoot. But that's not the only thing that Corey can do. He's what I like to call an offensive opportunist. He often stole baskets, sneaking into position to get layups, and making nice touch passes to exploit defenders for easy baskets for his teammates. Corey made some really nice reads flying off of pin downs and dribble handoffs. And at the NBA level, he will be able to translate this skill and be very effective with it. This, mixed with his shooting ability, makes him a good offensive player. Now, he isn't without his flaws though. Corey is not the type of player you want to be handling the ball for a long period of time on a given possession. He's not a good ball handler, and his quick decision making did lead to some turnovers because of miscommunications or premeditated passes. Now, on the defensive end, Corey isn't a horrible defender, but he's not on the other spectrum as an elite defender either. He's quite respectable though, and he's an underrated athlete. He moves his feet well, and that got him some really impressive amount of blocks. He's also a heady player and knows how to position himself to make a play on his expected action. And like I said, he's a respectable defender, but don't expect him to guard dynamic players. Like, no. Hell no. That's not happening, but all in all, he's not a liability though. Next up, we got Ziaire Williams. Ziaire is a forward that played a single college season at Stanford. He played in about 20 games for the Cardinal and averaged about 11 points a game on 37% field goal percentage and 3-point percentage being at 29%. Ziaire is an extremely fluid player for someone at his age and size, being about 6'10" and only weighing in at about 185 pounds. He's a solid athlete, not somebody that's going to blow his socks off when it comes to explosiveness, but he isn't a slouch at all. He might catch a body or two or have an impressive block every now and then as well. On the court, his game offensively is predicated on the perimeter, and that's mostly attributed to his build. But damn, is he good on the outside. As a prospect, he's a really solid player with the potential to be an all-star level player if he's developed and guided properly. He's a projected late lottery pick, so he'll more than likely go to a fringe playoff team with decent structure, veterans, and a solid coaching staff. And I think Ziaire will benefit from this a lot. Ziaire is a lanky guy with long arms and active hands defensively. A guy who can be a pest to smaller players and can jump passing lanes and get steals, or he can disrupt the play with his deflections. And the thing I like about Ziaire defensively is that he wants to play defense. He accepts the challenge, and it certainly shows on the activity at that end. Offensively, he's a guy that can create his own shot to a certain extent. I think he'd be better suited as a guy who can attack off the catch, but he has a nice jab that he can use to set up his defender and create space, as well as having a nice bag of step backs that he pulls out a lot to create space for open shots too. He has a decent range and is a confident shooter. He also has a pull-up jumper that he hits well from the mid-range. He has the potential to be a solid finisher at the rim with his length and athleticism. And he is also pretty good at navigating pick and rolls as a ball handler, as well as coming off of dribble handoffs. The weaknesses start with his lack of strength at his height, and in the league, that's just not something that teams will just ignore. They're going to take advantage of it, and it's not his fault. He's just going to have to build up strength over time. This lack of strength also hinders his ability to get downhill and finish through traffic. Outside of that, he needs to become a more consistent shooter, and he has the ability to shoot it, but his numbers don't reflect that. It's not a crazy bad thing, but it's something to work on nonetheless. Last but not least, my boy, Josh Christopher. Josh is a springy off guard that played one season at Arizona State, and in this season he put up about 14 points a game and grabbed 4 rebounds on 43% shoot from the field and 30% from three. He had an inconsistent season in which he showed his talents as well as his flaws, and the talent showed throughout the season is why I think he's an underrated prospect. Josh is a super athlete, a 2-foot leaper that can make highlight plays on both ends of the floor with monster dunks and monster blocks. Josh also has an NBA-ready frame, standing at 6'5" and weighing in about 215 pounds. Josh is an aggressive player that is highly confident in his abilities. If you watch Josh for any substantial amount of time, his offensive talents are evident. He can get buckets. He can get downhill. He can finish at the rim. He has a nice mid-range game with pull-ups, but his three-pointer was inconsistent, and that leads me into the things that he needs to clean up on. His form on his jump shot was inconsistent, and his shooting stats reflected that. Once Josh compacts his jumper into one consistent form, and with time, he can become a good shooter, but right now he's really streaky. Outside of that, Josh is a good passer with some impressive passes to get his teammates open looks. He has the ability to get downhill and put pressure on the rim, and it provides open passing lanes for open players to get easy scoring looks. But this brings me to two more issues that he had. As is with most players, Josh can be out of control with the ball at times. He's kind of reckless with it, and that led to bad shot selection and a lot of turnovers. He needs to tidy up on his ball handling ability, as he tends to be sloppy with the ball too. On the defensive end, Josh will be able to contribute while the offensive cake continues to bake for him early on in his career. Like I said, Josh is a terrific athlete, and his aggression and enthusiasm makes him a good defender, picking up guys full court, making absolutely insane blocks, and dexterity that is enviable. Josh still has a learning curve to get over before he could truly become great on the defensive end, because he could tend to be inattentive and late to close out on shooters or ball watching. All in all, Josh gives a lot of effort on the court, and I think whatever team drafts him is going to get a good player that has translatable skills as of right now, but still needs development to be a really good player. And for his teammates and the fans of whatever team drafts him, they're going to love him. He's a good player that can ingratiate himself into the fabric of whatever team he's on. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Tell me what you think down below. Tell me your underrated prospects that are going to be drafted tonight, and leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell once you hit the subscribe button, and share it to everybody you know. Until next time, everybody stay cozy. Peace.